My name is Gary Brown. I'm a Long Island guy, born and raised, and I was lucky enough to play in the NFL. I played for a few different teams, the Steelers, the Packers, and the 49ers, but I'm known for playing for the Packers. This is a 1996 Super Bowl ring, and football is what I did, it's not who I am. So getting up to this ring, and since this ring to being here was a journey. It's all not peaches and cream. You know, what we see on television and just like the commercials to go to the service doesn't tell you the bad things about it. The game day is the easiest day for football players. It's every day before that, after that, at night, the moans and groans, the aches and pains. Well, I'm a Long Island kid, and like I said, I was lucky enough to play in the NFL. I went to Nassau Community College, Georgia Tech. I was on a high. It was a great feeling just doing all of that, going out in college, playing in front of 60,000 people, in the NFL, playing in front of 80,000 people, people knowing who you are. And I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, this is going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. After my football career, I was mildly depressed, you know, because I thought it would never end. As long as I'm able to lift weights and run, I'm going to be kicking butt for the rest of my life. Sadly, there's very few people get to leave the NFL. They're very blessed. 98% of professional football athletes, the game leaves them. And when it does, it comes unabruptly. Like, I still got it, coach. And they're like, yeah, well, we found 3 more younger, bigger, stronger, faster. So that was a hard pill for me to swallow, because the only thing I knew was my hands and feet. That was my gift. You know what I mean? I could dance with anybody, I could box with anybody. And that was my gift of football. And when my career was over, I found myself back home in the bed that I grew up in my mother's house, my mother and father's house, and I'm like, damn, how did this happen? Like, I went all around the United States playing professional football. I went all around Europe, because I played the NFL in Europe for a couple of years. Then I went all around Canada, because I played in the CFL. And if they would let me play with this wheelchair, I would still be playing, but it's frowned upon. But I'm like, how did I do all of this and I'm back home where I was born, where I was raised, seeing the neighborhood? You know, it was kind of like everything went full circle, and that's when the struggle of life began for me. I couldn't get hired. Everybody's like, oh, come in for an interview. Oh, you're overqualified, but can I have your autograph? And I'm like, if I'm willing to do the work, and you're willing to pay me what I'm willing, and I'm saying yes to it, how am I overqualified? So I went for a couple of months, almost a year, without finding a real job. And I'm like, damn. My first real job after playing in the NFL and signing autographs for millions of people was cleaning toilet bowls in an assisted living place. I took it, and I went there. I already had the job before they even met me. My buddy got me hooked up, and I'm like, thank you, thank you. He's like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, anything. I put on my best suit. You don't have to do that, Gary. I am. You know, I need this job. I walked in there, and I walked out of that job actually being his boss. He was kind of pissed, but I gave him everything I had. You know what I mean? And I accepted cleaning toilet bowls. You know, I'm from a blue-collar family. There's no pride here. I need money, I'm willing to do it. I'm cleaning toilet bowls in an assisted living place. Then I got a construction gig. Then I got a nighttime security gig. And at one point I had 4 jobs. And I thought about it, well, I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm busting my butt. And the whole time I was trying to capture that lifestyle that I once had when I played football. And I'm chasing money, and I'm chasing everything in the world but what I'm supposed to be chasing. And then one day I hurt my spine. I carried a lady down a flight of stairs. We had a gas leak in the building. Nothing major. I thought I pulled a muscle. And a couple weeks later, that pulled muscle still bothered me. I started doing therapy. It didn't work out for me. I went aggressive. I went acupuncture, yoga, everything. Nothing was helping. And then one day, maybe 3 months later, 3 to 4 months later, I started going downhill. As an athlete, as a serviceman, you know, we push ourselves. Like, I'll be all right, just, you know, put some dirt on it, let me stretch, I'll be fine. It got to the point where I lost everything from waist down. I basically paralyzed from waist down. I couldn't wiggle my toes. I couldn't stand on my own. I couldn't get dressed. I couldn't go to the bathroom. And that was a much harder pill for me to swallow. Because as long as I was a strong, independent man, I'll be all right. You know, I'll do whatever I gotta do. But now they took my legs away from me. And it was nobody's fault, but I'm home and helpless. I'm living alone. I couldn't even care for myself. I couldn't cook for myself. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I couldn't make my bed. It was probably the lowest point in my life. Depression sat in real bad. Pill popping, doing whatever I had to do to disguise the pain. I was mad at the world, mad at God. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? I'm Gary Brown. I'm a hell of an athlete. I walk around and help and save everybody. Who's gonna help and save me? I had to get a surgery. They told me I would never walk again. When I got that surgery, I'm like, please, if I could just stand, I'll be okay. If I could just stand, just anything. So when they got after the surgery, it was a very long surgery, probably about 15 hours. It was scheduled for 8 hours. My mother was flipping out, like, what's going on? She's a nurse in the hospital, so she's like, something's not right. They brought in the big orderlies to move me over in my bed. I'm like, listen, my feet are never gonna hit the ground again. Just stand me up one time and then put me in the bed. They stood me up, my feet hit the ground, I couldn't feel them. They were like, all right, you gotta lay you down. They laid me down. I said, come back tomorrow and do it again. And since that day, every day I've been standing up every morning. And it wasn't nothing crazy or I just didn't accept what they told me. They told me I would never walk again. And I'm like, that's fine, but I'm gonna try my damnedest to. And ever since then, I've been fighting to walk again. I can stand now. I can stand on my own. I just came from a 2-hour drive, so I can do this. And I want to say I promise, but if it's in my power to, I will walk in here without this thing one day, and hopefully soon, because I still fight like the bastard every day. But I'm telling you that to tell you that it doesn't matter what hand you're dealt in life. It doesn't matter what your circumstances. It doesn't matter how you got here, what you did before. It matters that you play the hand you're dealt to the best of your ability. Don't sit back and just accept what somebody tells you. Don't sit back and just say, well, they said this and that's what it's gonna be. Fight for what you want, man. Fight for your sanity. Fight for being comfortable. Fight for your well-being, because these doctors, and no disrespect to anybody, but these doctors, these nurses, the therapists, all these people, they don't know inside of you. They don't know your willpower. If you went through boot camp and you went through the service and you've been overseas and you've seen some of the things you've seen, you're stronger than the average Joe. You're much stronger than the average Joe. And it's just about channeling that energy to positive energy. I always said I would give back and help out, but I don't have time for that. When I was playing football, I was too busy doing my thing and living a high-profile lifestyle. Then after my football career, I was too busy working, chasing that moment when you walk into a restaurant or a bar and you gotta look the part, you gotta be the part of a professional football player, so people can say, I was chasing that. I was chasing that like a drug. And I'm like, and it took me being broken down as a man to realize that's not what this stuff is all about. That's not why I went through all of this stuff. And at my darkest moment is when I decided to volunteer helping out. And the minute I did that, I don't know why, I don't know what you feel about God or higher power, but everything for me worked. Things just went my way. I could do like the day I started volunteering, turned my life around. And it just made things brighter and brighter. It gave me a reason to get up in the morning. It gave me a reason to go to bed at night at a reasonable hour. Because when you're depressed, you don't find reason for anything. You sleep in bed until 2, 3 in the afternoon. You stay up all night till 4 or 5 in the morning. Why? Because you're like, why not? So what worked for me, I'm not saying it's gonna work for you, but what worked for me was I had to find something to channel my energy, to channel in a positive way, and forget what you knew or what you had, known, or what you want to get back to. Think about how you can help each other, because there's nobody else in this room that understands what you're going through more than the person next to you. The therapist got all the data and all of that stuff, but they don't know what you go through at night when you close your eyes. They don't know what you wake up to every morning. They can assume, but they can't feel it here. But I'm challenging you guys to look out for each other, because even if you're having a rough day, there's things you could do to the person next to you, for the person next to you, for the person coming in here, or for the person leaving, that could change their life. And if you can do that, you better in your own life. So we focused on, when I met Dave 3 years ago, January 3 years ago?
January 28th of 2016.
3 years ago, it was
Very special, right?
what time? But it was something I didn't know what I was walking into. And we met through mutual friends. So it was kind of, I didn't know him, David Lionheart, a hell of a name, but what's this guy doing? And I walk in and I see this spunky guy, he's running around, like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do. I'm like, yo, what can I do to help? Thank you for being here, just relax. And I'm like, I need to help, Dave. And the first day, we had a bunch of veterans come in from Montrose, I believe, and they got off the bus, they're smoking their butts, they got on boots, flip-flops, sandals, everything, And we get them out on the field, we do the anthem, and we're like, we're gonna play some football. I'm like, what are we playing football? We don't want to do this. And I lie to you not, after 5-10 minutes of playing, I was brought back to being a kid. I forgot about my problems. I forgot about what I was dealing with. And I can't even run. These guys were lacing up their shoes. They were taking their shirts off. They were taking their jewelry off because they got competitive. You know how we are. I'm going to win at all costs. You know what I mean? No matter what. If I could beat you, I'm going to beat you. And that's what we got into. And we just challenged each other to get better. And we smiled and laughed for about 2 hours. And then we broke bread after, and we sat down and we talked about everything from football, because I'm an open book. After I'm done talking, I'll take any questions you have. It could be about football, whatever. And the fellowship was good. That moment stayed with me for days after. I didn't even have his phone number, but when I got his phone number, I called him, and he was like, I was like, I had a good time, and I'm still smiling. He was like, dude, me too. And ever since then, our friendship has bonded. And we're like, we gotta do this as much as possible, as often as possible, because we're not sure quite how we're doing it, but we know that we're doing it. We're getting enough feedback that we know that we're making a difference. It's not nothing medical, there's nothing scientific about it, but we're just here to take your mind off of what you're going through. Help you focus a little bit about what you're going through, but get your mind off of it, man. Just step away for a little bit and attack it with fresh eyes and a fresh outlook. Because I say this every time I speak. I talk about life being a book. No matter what happened up until this minute, that ink is dry. Those pages are already done. There's nothing you can do to go back and change it. There's no editing. That's printed. It's gone. But from this moment on, from here, for the next 5 minutes, the next 5 hours, next 5 days, next 5 months, next 5 years, you are the author of that pen. You are writing that story. And it's up to you on how you write it. That paragraph could be disappointing and gray, and reminding yourself of everything you're going through, or it could be a new outlook on life. It could be a new outlook on family, on friends. And this is family and friends in this room by itself, and so that you can take it for what it's worth. But you're the author, man, and I swear to you, I try every day to get up and write a more positive, better book all the time, every day. Me and Dave were on the phone all morning. He woke up with residential issues in his house. I woke up with residential issues, and I'm like, damn, Dave, I'm running late, man. I gotta get this stuff fixed. I can't leave my daughter with a clogged bathroom and things weren't working right. And everything told me to cancel. I'm like, Dave, just don't count me out. Just give me a chance. Give me a minute. Because this coming here is not just, it's not me, it's no pity. It's not about me saying, oh, they need me. I need this more than you do, because this is helping me deal with my demons. This is helping me deal with my recovery. This is helping me deal with my handicap. This thing means something to me, and it means a lot. It's more emotional than I could. If we had hours, we could sit down and talk to you about what got me here and how it was, but we don't. This is a very brief observation, clips of the story, but you're not alone. This room's been filled with people like you since the day this building opened. There's people that left here and went on to live a healthy, successful life. There's people that keep coming back here. But when you choose to change it, it's changeable, but it's up to you. But don't be afraid to lean on each other as well. I'm not gonna, it's usually more upbeat and more laughter and funny about this, but I looked up here, it says now the healing begins when I walked in the door, and I just felt that that was something I needed to say, because we're about healing ourselves and healing each other. And the worst thing for a man to do is think he's too tough to get help, or to lean on the person next to him, or to the left of him, or behind him. Not why not? And I challenge you guys to start today. And let's make a difference in the people we love and the loved ones around us.